Good afternoon, class. This video is for my 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade art class. Guys, we are going to be working on the next few weeks. I want you to be working on a landscape, just like this painting right here. So we're going to talk about it a little bit in this video, and then I'm going to give you some separate videos to actually do the drawing. So 3rd grade, you're going to have your own landscape drawing. I know you already started one in class, so you're going to get a chance to do that drawing at home. And 4th and 5th grade, I'm going to start you on one as well, so look for your video, okay? Let's talk about some landscapes. This is a really lovely painting that I got passed down to me from my grandmother, so I thought it was perfect. We're going to use it to talk about a landscape, and then I'm going to show you some other examples. When thinking of a landscape, let's talk about what it is. It's a scene from nature. That's the focus. So we've got trees, clouds, grass, even a little pond or a lake. So some things you want to know about a landscape is you're going to break it up into some sections because you want your landscape to feel like it has dimension. When you look at this, you've got something that has depth. It looks like there are things way far away from you, and it looks like there are things that are really up close to you. So the things that are up close we put down low and we make them larger. So this is called the foreground. So you see right down here about this lower part of the picture right here, we've got the foreground. You've got some bushes down here. You've got a little fence. You've got a lot of this pond, okay? The next part is going to be farther away from you, and it moves up higher. So if you want things to start looking farther away from you on the page, you're going to move it up higher on your page, and it's going to get smaller as you go. So you've got this section right here. So you notice we've got a little building, we've got some trees. These are large trees, but if they were drawn down here, they would be really huge and take up the whole painting. So in our middle ground, we have these trees and we've got this little building. And way in the back, you see these mountains right here? That is our background, okay? And then you've also got all the clouds right here. So the lower you go and the bigger you go, it's going to look closer to you. The higher up you go and the smaller you go, it's looking farther back. And also, you're going to put more detail in those front things, and you're going to make things less detailed. Notice how the mountains back here are just kind of swooshes of this artist paintbrush. It didn't give very many details. All right, let's look at a few more examples, and then we'll get to drawing. Okay. We're going to look at a few other examples. I found this coloring book, I think last year at Hobby Lobby, and it has some really great landscapes that I want to share with you, and we're going to base our landscape kind of off the general feel that this artist uses. Okay. If you look at this landscape right here, you see we have the foreground, the middle, and the background. The foreground, you see that things are large, and this is one thing I really like about this artist, is his foreground, he really makes some large detailed items in one of the corners, as you'll see, and I think it adds a lot and will add a lot to your landscape. As you go up, things start to get a little smaller, all the way until you get, here's our background. Do you see these little trees kind of in the background? In the middle ground, you've got lots of trees here that are more detailed, and this mill, and even a stream. Here's one where this artist put very large flowers that cover the page. It's still in the foreground though because of how large they are and because it does start down here at the bottom. So it just goes up and fills the page, and then in the middle ground you've got this path all the way. This path takes us all the way to the background, and you see how we have some faint trees and a building and some mountains. All right, one more. This one is kind of fun. You have the front porch of a house is right here in our foreground. See how large it is? And then it feels like you're standing right here, about to walk up the steps. And then as you go up, the items start to get smaller and smaller. These guys are all in the middle ground, but notice that some are still even smaller than the ones closer to you. Keep that in mind when we do our own landscape. You've got the barn in the middle ground, and then here in the background you can see a little tree line in the back. Okay, go look for your video on your own class on what to draw for your landscape, and I'll see you in the next video. Have fun.